Bears. How are we today? It's good to see everybody here. Starting to filter in. That's a good deal. Sorry. There we go. That mic is so far away. It's ridiculous. All right. I wonder, could we hear the music better today? Slowly, little by little, I'm learning to be a not gay Jared. And I'm learning to eat the mic here, which looks a little gay, but, and I mean that in a homosexual way. I'm not attempting to do that, but I suppose I might have an aspect or two of that in my behavior, in appearance. Though let's see here. I love those people. Those people? What are you talking about? No. Good morning. Yes, needed some coffee myself here. Kodiak says he's out getting coffee as well. Yeah, so I don't generally encourage wolfing down your microphone. It's not healthy. A steady diet of microphone is not usually good for one. So we're starting to get some people in here. This is a good thing. Definitely want to see that happen today. Yeah, we're gonna need minds today. Definitely gonna need some interesting creativity. We've got Kodiak, we've got Mama Bear, and we've got Mr. Nicktown with us so far that we can see. I bet you'd eat microphone, even if it wasn't chocolate. You know, and this looks like it might be dark chocolate, right? And no, that wasn't meant to be a double entendre. I actually was talking about dark chocolate. I just wanted to eliminate any inappropriate thoughts from people before I got started. Because I sort of set the tone. Hey, Charity, I'm sorry to hear that you're in the hospital. That's not cool. But thanks that you could be here. I hope you're doing all right. Let's see here. I just clicked the wrong thing. Let's pause it. I got my music still running in the background, but I generally want that to not be the case. And my Photos app is trying to open up at the same time, so my computer's trying to die on me before I get going. All right. So we've got a bunch in here. Yeah, well, Charity, best wishes to you, and I hope that if you're not well, that you get well soon. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm really sad to hear that. I hope anybody that's out there that can be thinking about it, definitely spend some time today. Give some thoughts and prayers to Charity and her betrothed as well as they're going through this time. We definitely want to see you back to health and getting on with life in a good way. So definitely keep us updated. Let us know how things are moving forward. We'd like to hear. If anybody's having trouble, having problems, let us hear a little bit about it, I'm not laughing at your pain, but the way that you put that out kind of caught me as a little funny. Appendicitis is awful. That's a horrific thing. Yeah, definitely want to hope that is not the case for you. And if there's any way that the doctors can be wise and help you get through that with minimal impact to you financially, that would also be a good thing. Well, that's they're thinking it's indigestion, that it's tummy troubles, huh? Well, let's hope that it is. I hope and pray that that's all it is. But because that would be much better for you in the long run. But your spelling went out the window. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Oh man, no worries here. I don't spell well either, right? And the comedian that inspired most of us to start our the comedian that inspired a lot of us to do our live streams here within this Bears community, Owen Benjamin. Hey, Mr. Eric Nimmer, thank you for joining us today. You know what? I just realized that you're not wrenchified, and That's inappropriate because everybody in my stream has a wrench, if and when I can help that to be the case. So welcome, Eric Nimmer, to Wrench Live. Kind of grateful for you being here. That's pretty cool. Very well. Very good. I hope you guys are having a good time on tour. That's pretty excellent. I did catch Owen's stream this morning, just a little bit of it, and I saw Leftist Fitness Instructor Part 3 that came out. Yeah, I know that, Inspector, that's probably a bad idea. Well, I don't have a bike, so he's not in a position to steal it, right? I'd have to steal a bike from him, right? That would pretty much have to be how it goes down. So, but thanks, Eric Nimmer, for joining us. Axbear John, thank you for being here, man. Good to see you again. Inspector's here. We got Charity here. I was saying something to Charity, yeah, that we all started kind of getting into this community things to Owen, and he's the kind of guy that would say, yeah, he would want best wishes for you and for you to get better as well. You know, it's just kind of that sort of spirit of community that we have. We want to see other people lifted up, but definitely want it to be the need for an enema rather than the need for appendicitis surgery and removal of that. That's no fun, but please keep us updated. Let us know how that's going, Charity. Let's see here. Now, for today, we've got some wonderful people in here. Billowy Bear, I apologize for not mentioning you there. Definitely wanted to get your name in the mix there. Thank you for showing up again. Glad to see you here. I'm going to shake my microphone a little bit because it's that chocolate microphone that looks so good, and it needs to shake. And no, again, that wasn't to be a double entendre before Mr. Nimmer or anybody else gets it in their mind that it was. Let's see here. So today we're kind of talking a little bit about the future of this stream and some things that I have planned, but ideas that you all would like to see. How could we make this a better experience to serve the bear community at large, and others out there with my niche, right? And as most of you that have followed this for a little while know, most of what I talk about is being a husband and father, being a Christian guy, biblical-minded guy at times, not always, because I'm a human being and I foul that up pretty well. But I also dig into dogs. You know, I'm a big fan of the dogs. By the way, if you haven't heard, yeah, more stripping. Well, I had my day. You know, there were some pole dances that were pretty well known, but I had to set that down. Magic Mike it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Eric Nimmer is a comedian. So let's see. Okay, more stripping. Okay, so the idea is down. I added the idea to the page, as you can clearly see. Added that. Yeah. Mind went blank for a moment. Dogs. So I'm into the dogs. Got 3 of them, and they frequent the show. By the way, if you don't already know, support the show by going ahead and, oh, you know what? I brought the wrong one. Oh, excuse me. I forgot that I've got another one I have to bring up here. So bear with me for just a moment. That pun is so terrible and overused, but for some reason I can't seem to escape using it more. It just seems to want to come on out. So what I'm going to do here is I need to add another scene in OBS. Owen's still learning to use OBS. We're all learning to use OBS. It's a bit ridiculous. Now, window capture. See, I want to capture something for you that should be pretty cool, and I think you might like it. But then again, you might be who you are, and you might be one of those people that just likes to be a stick in the mud and not like it. So, thanks to Steve Pinder, right, this wonderful graphic was created, and I'm highly, highly appreciative. My dog, Chunk, he is a little bit of a mascot for this show. So if you love freedom and you enjoy the Big Drum Bear stream, be sure to get your Love Chunk or your Akami shirt now at bonfire.com. Hey, thanks for the links in there. Dog fighting as well. That could be a thing. So yeah, this is on Bonfire, and this all goes into supporting the stream and making it better. So that's what we want to have happen here. We want to get this to become a much bigger and better enterprise for all of you, to make it interesting and contribute to your life in some kind of positive way. So yeah, get yourself a Love Chunk or your Akami t-shirt now from bonfire.com/don't-c-red-love-chunk. As well as that, we have something that I said I would advertise here. That graphic, by the way, was put together by Steve Pinder. And to say thank you to Steve Pinder, in about a month from now, Steve is going to have a resurgence of his Pinder's Ugly Mug. The Pinder's Ugly Mug will be back on sale about a month from now. Also on not Bonfire, but the thing that they're a subsidiary of, which I believe is Teespring. And he'll have it up on Teespring. He'll have the link out for you and all. So as I understand it, allegedly this mug comes complete with a full amount of shekels brimming over at the edge. Of course, they're worth nothing to you if you're not a Jew. And when you drink out of it, you will enjoy the taste of Manischewitz by an increased factor of about 54%. When you drink from it, the weather is likely to change, at least in your local area, to whatever it is the Jewish population in your area wants it to be. So if you have the mug, it's just more likely that they'll be on your side. So go ahead, get yourself a Pinder's Ugly Mug in a month from now when it comes out. Be aware that drinking out of the Pinder's Ugly Mug, search and general warning here, may cause growing of a gullet. That's something you want to look out for. So just be on the lookout for the Pinder's Ugly Mug. That's always important. We want to get those out to the people that need them. As soon as they're available, I'm definitely going to get a couple and have them on this show. All right, so what's headed for this show, what's coming up for this show next week, we're going to start trying to do interviews. I'm working to develop the interview portion of this show a little bit. We don't have an interview portion yet. I'd like to get right into doing visual interviews if at all possible. If not, then we'll just get phone interviews. But next Monday, I do have an agreement from Harold Green, my musical mentor. He'll be on, and we'll have a good talk about music. We'll have a good talk about spiritual matters that are near and dear to our hearts. And some of the wonderful things from this community that both of us have enjoyed, different issues we've been keeping our eyes on a little bit. So that's going to happen. That's going to be a good time. We're looking to see if we can get a lineup of some other great folks to come out here, be on the show. Some great bears to get out here and talk with you. I enjoy hearing different bears come on and talk with Pinder when he does his show from the studio. And I'd like to have an opportunity to give some bears a voice out here as well. But I'd really like to introduce you to some people that have been influential in my life. And I'd hope to have opportunities through that as the show grows to meet people that I've always wanted to meet. Boy, if there ever comes a time where Mr. Eric Nimmer would like to come out here, I'd get to know more about the man, the legend, the force of nature that he is, the raw power that comes out of the Eric Nimmer. I'd very be interested in that one day. I'd love to have Levi on here and have Kodiak get up in here. And this guy, for those of you that don't know more about Kodiak Bear, because I don't know a lot, but I know a little, this guy makes clips like mad. There's tons of these Owen Benjamin clips from different episodes that he's put together, and they're fantastic. Regularly, I have to share with Kodiak that I'm having bladder difficulties, maintaining my bladder in response to the stuff he's put out. So if you too would like to have deep bladder difficulties, if you would like to have to change your pants regularly due to them being soaked, be sure to check out Kodiak Bear's channel and take a look at some of the clips he's put together recently. He's got those editing skills down. Yeah. You could get a surgery, Charity. I don't recommend it unless you absolutely need it. But if you watch enough of the clips that Kodiak Bear has put together, you may need a surgery. You may injure yourself. That's entirely possible. So, hey, Steve Pinder, you just missed your plug. Just one more time for Steve. 1 month from now, be sure to get your Pinder's Ugly Mug. Ensure that you can drink shekels in liquid form. Ensure that you get in on the right side of the people who control weather. Make sure that you start to grow your gullet and show your support for Pinder's Ugly Mug. Available for $14.99 on Teespring in about a month. That's coming your way. Just one more time for him, right? So today, what we're working on is show topics, the direction of this show. We want to get some general ideas, and I'm farming this out, right? Owen writes jokes with you guys. Steve has worked together with the community to develop some of his parody songs. Excuse me. So I'm going to farm out some thoughts to see what the community would be interested in hearing from my niche, right? And let's keep in mind, my niche pretty much extends to fatherhood. I have 4 kids, right? 3 boys and a girl. My oldest, he just turned 14. My youngest, she's going to be 8 this year. So I've got a wealth of experiences there. I've been a military guy, both Army and Air National Guard, now over the course of about 17 years. So I have some interesting experiences there. From communications that I've worked in to being a drummer for the 3rd Infantry Division Band to working security. Of course, there's a limited amount of stuff I can tell you there, but yeah, because it's so big. Let me tell you. No, it's not. No, National Guard don't get access to a lot of interesting stuff. Maybe once in a grand while. Music collaboration over the internet. You know what? I'm writing that down, Inspector, because we've discussed that a little bit. Music collab. The screen's going to shake a little bit because this table, that's going to be one of the things we hope to improve. If you want to support Big Drum Bear, not only by buying a shirt, which, hey, go get the Love Chunkery or Kami shirt today. That's a wonderful thing to do for yourself. You want to dress appropriate and let people know not only how you feel about Chunk, but how you feel about communism. It's appropriate. And Chunk Guevara will help you do that. Yeah, and wearing charity, that's a good point. Wearing a Chunk Guevara shirt is a little bit like some personal morphine when you have to endure hearing people ring out the joys of communism, knowing that it always ends in starvation and genocide and has done so throughout the 20th century. That's been our experience with that stuff, and yet people think it's such a viable way to govern because they haven't read the Gulag Archipelago, and they need to do that by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Pick yourself up a copy on YouTube. It's free, and you can find out the horrors of a socialist or communist country and how people are governed within. Always bad. At any rate, music collaboration via interweb. Yeah. I got to write it down or else it's out of sight, out of mind. I'm pretty awesome at that. Just saying. So now you all know. You know one of my weaknesses. Out of sight, out of mind. That's not a good thing to share. One thing that I know I'm going to be doing to improve the show is to make sure people can hear me. Right now I'm playing around with this little soundboard that I've got. It's cheap. It works. It's something. And that'll be something that we try to improve over time so that it gets better and better. But also the non-shaky table will be a future for me. I'll invest in something like that, like a desk under which I can wear either no pants or at least Ranger panties. You know, I might invest in a pair of Louder with Crowder Ranger panties, and that could be fun for the show. Honky is here. Welcome, Honky Bear. I'm glad you joined us. It's good to have you. Glampin's in here. I didn't see Glampin before, but I'm glad Glampin is here as well. Let's see. Was there anybody else that came in that I missed? Inspector, yeah, I said hi to you. We got some dude in here. I don't know. Thinks he's a comedian or something, and he travels around with some guy named Owen. I think he's hanging around here, but he's cool too, I guess. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, BDB's email. If you want to send an email, that should be in the description. If it's not, let me fix that for you as soon as I can. bigdrumbear@gmail.com. I know, shocker, right? Real tough. bigdrumbear@gmail.com. All one word, right? And you too can send emails to Big Drum Bear. Yeah, feel free. If you've got other stuff that you're not interested to share here, you can feel free to email it, and we'll dig into that, and we'll see how we can further the future of the Big Drum Bear show. Make it great again and again and again, just like drumming, which it should be great again and again and again. That's how we do things here. So, music collaboration via interwebs. What that will take to some degree, at first it's probably going to have to be like pre-recorded videos, like we all play our parts and we videotape ourselves playing our parts. And if you have recording software like GarageBand or something else on your system, we can just send each other WAV files over Dropbox, and we can put together compositions. And then if we film ourselves while we do that, then we just have to get editing software. Somebody's got to have it where they can put all four together, all five, or whoever's playing, in a multi-screen, a multi-screen kind of shot. So you can watch us all playing at the same time, or switch between the different people playing at the same time. And then you get that, essentially. Yeah, Skype could work. The only difficulty with doing live stuff over Skype is latency, right? And what I mean is, not everybody's going to have the same level of internet connection right off the bat. Down the road, I would love that, because I'm probably going to invest in more dedicated internet when I can afford that. Have it where, it's strong enough that people could, thank you, Charity. Thanks for posting the link. That's wonderful. Yes, bigdrumber@gmail.com. That is me. When we get to a point where, where we can have, plenty of, that'll do. That's good. I think they've got it now. All right. When we get to a point that we can have higher levels of internet amongst more of us, then we could do the live jams, right, online. Because then, it's important to have no latency or minimal latency when you're doing that, because we want to make sure we stay together as we do it. If you're trying to play together musically and you've even got like a half second of delay between yourselves, I mean, think about it. You're sending high quality video and audio signal across the country to different places. It's going to get bogged down a little bit, and then we're actually not going to be playing together when the final product comes out, for the people who are watching it. So you can do that kind of stuff. People have done it, but you have to have a little higher quality. And what I get from the local folks here is probably not going to be enough. So let's see here. Let's see. All right. I'm just checking back through a couple of things here that I might have missed. Charity can make me a table. That's very sweet of her. Do you do woodworking, Charity? Because that's very kind of you if you do. And then send it to the next person who would record their part. Yes, Inspector, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's how we would do that. If you record your part in, say, I don't know, an app like GarageBand or some other thing where you can make it into a WAV file, then we can share those WAV files via Dropbox or whatever it be, and we can put it all together, But we'd probably want to have like those of us that are going to do that, we'd probably want to have a little powwow via Skype or Hangouts or something like that, probably Hangouts, and get a better idea of exactly what it's going to be, and then we each do our parts and get the right tempo, get us all synced together, and we rock. So yeah, that could totally happen. Charity, that's awesome. Charity does woodworking. Do you do it professionally or just as a hobby? Because that stuff fascinates me. I am not good at any of that type of thing. I've never been. Though my dad worked at the local community college for years. And he put together sets. He would build sets for, different plays that they would put on. Dad, not only did he architecturally design these masterful sets, and I'm talking like multi-level things. One year when I was about 16 or 17, we did the Prince Caspian story from the Chronicles of Narnia. And he built like this entire castle scene, and it had stairs going up the back of the castle, all this different stuff. And we had massive like battle scenes and stuff going on all across the stage. There were pyrotechnics, all this kind of stuff. And he was able to orchestrate all that because he had good people working for him in the scene shop. But he's always been really good at being able to have a sense of how visually things are going to work out. Mr. Nicktown. Well, when your dad is away at war, Mr. Nicktown, and it's World War II, and you're kind of bitter about that, and your older brother's trying his best to be, heading up the family and takes it out on you a little bit, it might encourage you to be a little bit of a snot. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't disagree on any point, but he figured it out. It just took him a little longer, Let's see. Kodiak was saying, for those who didn't see Tactiquette, I have to check that out. I don't know what that's about yet. And Charity does do that. And woodworking is a hobby. That's very cool. I'd be interested to see some of your work. I'd love to see what you do. I have a buddy of mine I worked with in the security unit here at our guard base who does that as well. And I think you can find some of his stuff online. But he's keeping it pretty small. So I'll ask if he wants it publicized. He may not. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat a little bit. I won't always. Sometimes I'll just let you guys chat. Yeah, he did. Oh, that was Eustace, their cousin, who became a dragon. At least in the versions I've read, it was in the book The Silver. No, I'm sorry. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Voyage of the Dawn Treader was later with Prince Caspian. Yeah, it was there. It was little Eustace. That was the kid that I couldn't stand. Like the old BBC version of those stories, of the old Chronicles of Narnia stories that they did back in the late 80s, early 90s. The kid that they got to play Eustace, you're allowed to cross streams a little bit. It's all right. And that's that. We're bears. We keep each other accountable. It's all right. It was Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and they went to some island, and there was one of the 7 missing lords of Narnia that they found there. I'm sorry, what, Charity? I missed that. I hope you're talking about a rooster. Hey, Harold, I'm glad you're at the dentist. I guess I'm not glad, but I hope that it works out well for you. Glad you could drop by, man. We're talking a little bit about the future of the stream here. By the way, Harold, if you haven't seen it, Harold didn't see this, so I want to share it with him. 2 things Harold needs to know. 1, Harold, it is on sale right now. Yeah, there's a link in the description of this. You can check afterward. Get yourself a, there you go. Love Chunk or You're a Commie shirt. And those are super important. You always want to get yourself a Love Chunk or You're a Commie shirt because you don't want to be a commie. And Chunk Guevara will get you, So I like the irony of that. It's hilarious. Thanks to Steve Pender for creating that design. Nice. Okay, Charity, I just got the acronym. Yeah, I'd never heard them called that, but that's funny a little bit. I kind of get it. No, I know you're not talking about roosters. Let's see here. You want that shirt. How do you get that? You get that shirt by 5 people minimum buying that shirt. That's how we get to that point. Chunk Guevara shirts available at bonfire.com/don't-c-red-love-chunk. Yes. Chunk Guevara shirts available. That's where you can get them. But also, Harold Green, you should know, but in a month, we only have 11 days left to order. But in about a month, you will too also be able to get a Pender's Ugly Mug. This is starting to turn into a Ben Shapiro episode. That's mildly inappropriate for when you're drinking coffee. I mean, yes, he is partly Jewish, which it makes it acceptable. Yeah, we got the email. That's a good thing to have. We appreciate that. One is probably good. We probably don't want to have too many. But well, what was I going to say? Yeah, definitely get yourself a Pender's Ugly Mug. That's going to be important. All right, so other show ideas, other ideas that people would like to see from this stream. What other bigger subjects? The Magician's Nephew. Yes, I want to see that made into a movie too. I've been thinking about that for a while. Best answers. The Magician's Nephew is probably one of my favorite stories. In fact, I was recently going back and rereading that one. Anybody who hasn't read the Chronicles of Narnia, definitely dig into that. It's one thing to see the films, which I very much enjoyed while I was growing up, but Magician's Nephew, to read it is, it's not a movie, so at this point, so you kind of have to. Or you can listen to it being read on audio. I think there are places on YouTube where that's available. Pretty good deal. That was the one with the green and yellow rings. You are correct. Let's see. It is a great series. It's been one of my favorites for a long time. It's kind of genius, you know, when people are able to take their imaginations and put it into a form that's definitely pretty cool. Let's see here. So, I'm looking through to see if I missed an idea earlier. Let's see. I'm probably not going to lick the microphone. We're going to keep this sort of family oriented because eventually I do want some of my music stuff to be available for kids. You know, I have a lot of kids students that I teach, and so I like to keep things a little bit more where the family could get into it. Now it's kind of difficult sometimes with bears because bears do get pretty out there. Chunk did lick the mic. Yes, that's true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, best answers. The origins of the White Witch in that story, The Magician's Nephew, would be very interesting. I don't doubt it. There's a plenty of bears that are also not, so we understand. We know how that can be. But we still try to keep some degree of decorum, at least a little bit, and on the topic as much as we can. As much as we can. That's the addendum there. I just bought the Chunk shirt. Oh, dude, you're awesome. Yeah. Well, I know that Steve Pinder is also planning to get one. So we're going to make that 5. We're going to get to that 5 level, and then everybody will get one. As long as we sell 5, we'll get one. You can be. Yeah, that's true. It's possible to be succubusy with a little bit of class, I think, at times. Andrew, you're digging in. Yeah, the guy Andrew Adamson, I think, was the guy who was directing the remakes of the Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, it didn't. I don't know. The first one was pretty cool, but they kind of dropped off. They kind of got a little weaker, I think, as they went on. They were neat, but I think I wanted to see some more oomph, some more energy in the way that they were told. You could have done that, dude. That stinks, man. Harold's filling fell out. That's not good. Let's keep Harold in mind because fillings are unpleasant. They're not something that I'm a fan of. And my dentist doesn't do the putting you under kind of thing. He just does the, hey, Inspector Bear just sent me something here. That's way cool. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Yes, Inspector. I will get with you after show today, and we will set up the methods for doing lessons. That's totally going to happen. Absolutely. Violin sounds cool. Yeah, I remember you told us you've been playing violin for several years. That's cool, Charity. Honky, you totally dropped off. I'm glad you're back. Love Bear. You are Love Bear. Let's see. Deeper message was completely lost in the subsequent films. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, hey, thank you for reminding me, Harold. Harold Green from greenhouse.com. If you want to or the ghm.org. That's his website. If you want to study practical theory is what I meant to say. If you want to study practical music theory with a master, Harold Green is going to be teaching a class online through gotomeeting.com. If you want to get in on that, email him at Harold Green, that's with an extra E on the end, at hotmail.com. Excuse me. Or do they need to go to the website to sign up, Harold? How do people do that if they want to take part in that class? Because I want to make sure people know the right info. Yeah, practical theory is correct. That's going to be this coming Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can do the math. Yeah, we'll probably not. So hang on a second. Let's see. Harold Green at hotmail.com. Email him there. You can get the info. Okay, let's see here. I want to learn to play bluegrass. Bluegrass is a good thing too. I encourage playing bluegrass. All right, let's see. I am not good at it. I've always wanted to learn a little bit, but I'm not good at the banjo. I want to get much better at the banjo someday, but drums is kind of my first thing. So let's get on to a couple other subjects that we want to move forward with. Video lessons, or just lesson. Hey, Tyler, welcome. Video lessons is one that I wanted to talk more about on specifically drums, but also some of the other instruments that I dig into a little bit. Yes. That's one that I definitely want to do. I'd like to do more interviews, and the interviews is going to happen. Like I said, we're going to try and get Harold Green up in here next Monday. But I also would like to do what Harold's talking about. Harold has told me many times, online resources. I'll have to look that up today. So one of the things Harold taught us a number of times is analyze everything you're listening to. If you want to become a better musician, analyze whatever it is you're listening to. Let's see here. As you do that, you're going to have a better sense of what you're doing whenever you play. You'll be able to articulate it, not verbally just there, but also in your mind. You're going to be able to better organize it, right? You know how Jordan Peterson says, clean up your room. Well, clean up your mind, right? The cleaning of your room helps you clean up your mind. That's the idea behind it, because your room is a reflection of your mind in that sense, as much as you're in your room. So analyzing music helps you to organize your musicianship, your playing, right? That's the idea behind it. When you see the structures that people use most commonly within Western music, you're going to have a much better idea of how to operate within those structures and make better music, right? Because people have done great music, and we can still find new things. We can reach out there, but you're going to be better able to know where the boundaries are between what's been commonly done and what's new. You're going to be better able to make the choices you want to make in the moment musically if you better understand what's come before you. You study it and you dig into it a little bit. So analyze what you're listening to. And maybe we'll spend some time. Group analysis. Let's see. Group analysis of tunes. That's a good idea. I like that. Harold would know about that. Harold would definitely know about the picking and bluegrass stuff. Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah. Just sort of reading over some different things, trying to get some idea here. Boom strumming. I'm not familiar with boom strumming. I don't know what that is. Is that like the taking the broom and tying it to a washboard? Is that what that is? Is that what you're thinking? Or not a washboard, but a wash basin. That's what I'm thinking. I know the pastor at the church I used to go to, he really likes doing that. Oh, thank you, Andrew. No, this is not licking the mic. It's just getting closer because I've been watching back some of my videos and I do sound quiet. Like I've turned my headphone volume down so that whatever volume I have coming out has to be turned up in order for it to be heard by me. If I had my headphone volume over halfway, then it sounds loud to me, and then I think you're hearing it. I'm strumming, licking the mic. You guys are cracking me up. No, so yeah, I figured out how to make sure that you can hear me more properly. I want to make that happen. That's important. Yeah, so we're also going to figure out how to do this as a split screen and give people the ability to come in here and chat. And I'm going to design a little screen for interviews and stuff to happen on here. Hopefully, at least interviews can happen pretty consistently, that we have the internet capacity for that. How's the stream quality been today? Has it died down at all? Has it gotten any lag? Have we gone to the gulag? No, not so much. There is a thought that I'd like to dig into a little bit today as we're doing this, and feel free to throw out some other ideas and stuff. But for good episodes, I do want to get another live stream from the canoe. I think that's going to happen before it gets too cold, because in the winter that's going to be a little awkward. I wouldn't encourage it. How about to put it that way? That's good. I'm glad. Thanks, Best Answers. I appreciate that. That's the best answer you could have given me. Never heard that one before, I'm sure. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's probably your fault, Billy Bear. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Now, I do want to get back to doing a canoe stream, like I said, but probably want to have some fireside chats with Chunk. You know, I thought it would be funny to have a segment on here where instead of me sitting in a nice leather armchair next to a fire, maybe I'm sitting next to, I'm sitting on like the white lawn chair against the brick wall with Chunk. So Chunk side chats with Big Bear Prager, or Big Prager Bear. I don't know. That could be interesting. And I'm no Dennis Prager by any means. Yeah, I'm not nearly the cigar aficionado that man is. Nor do I have even a fraction of the knowledge or the character. I have to say I respect the man's character greatly. What is on Chunk's mind is what we'd be exploring. Yeah, we just hear from Chunk. You know, I'd ask him questions. It'd be little short interviews with Chunk. It would be interesting to see how we keep him in the chair for those. He'd need some good training because that guy wants to move. He wants to be all over the place. Yes, I agree, Steve. Mic licking is yuck. Let's see. Yes. And we certainly will be genre specific in our breakdown of music, Best Answers. That has to happen. Let's see. Inspector Bear, good thought there about the strumming kind of stuff. And Harold has even more insight on that. If you want to dig in with him, he's the guy to talk to. I mean, he has been playing guitar for what? Over 30 years. I think he's got some ideas. Let's see here. So yeah, the chunk chats, chunk side chats is a thing that's going to happen. Chunk side. So I thought of putting up some clips like Kodiak does of different things, not just Owen's, because I know generally Kodiak does Owen stuff, but I thought of putting up clips of other people that have inspired me in some way. I didn't create, I haven't uploaded it yet, but I did create a clip of the comedians and addicts getting porridge sketch that Big Bear did with Crowder the other day, which was hilarious. But I cut the relevant parts from that and posted that, or I haven't posted, excuse me. I edited that down to a video. But I was dying. I was dying at that, and mostly at their own reaction to their stuff. You know, that's the funniest part. Song brainstorming is a great idea, like writing tunes. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and have a songwriting session. Song brainstorming. Salutatorians. That's awesome, dude. Good to see you, Zach Bugas. Glad you could join us. Yes, Mr. Zachary Bugas. You may not be a Zachary. I just said that because it's fun. But he's quite the musical man. And it's always good to see him joining up in here. We are talking about going into the future here, what the future of the Big Drum Bear stream is going to be like. And we have some great ideas thus far. I'm kind of a fan of what's been coming up here. Salutations. But that was funnier. That's salutatorians is funnier, man. I appreciated that. I knew what you were going for, but I liked it. Don't eat your boogas. That's funny. Yeah, we're thinking about revving it up to 88 miles per hour here and seeing what the future's like. It ought to be pretty neat. We have an interview coming up Monday. Those of you who hadn't heard, with Harold Green. We're planning on that. And then looking to book some more interviews throughout the week with interesting people. If I can get maybe a Steve Pinder. Well, he might be at work during my showtime. Maybe a pre-taped. If I can figure out how to play back pre-taped interviews, I might get some of those going on. And that would be cool. But at least maybe 2 to 3 interviews in a week could be good. I'd enjoy that. Since we are a weekly show. Or a daily show, excuse me. Crowder, I was, getting into just before he went daily. That's funny. Crowder, I got into just before he started going daily, and then he had the whole hashtag never daily thing, and suddenly they're daily, and all the stuff it took for them to go daily was a big deal. So when I started, I just decided I'm going daily right away, and since I'm just doing it myself, I think I took that from Big Bear because Big Bear's always going daily. So, nice, Zach. That's appropriate. Yeah, it'd be great. I'd love to get video interviews going on for people that don't mind having a video interview. I'd like to make that happen, and we'll see if that's even possible. So, what is NFN interview? I should know. What is NFN, Andrew J? Nothing? It stands for something that I should know. NIMR for Never Stealing Bikes Again. Is that what that stands for? NIMR for Never Stealing Bikes Again? Trevor and Natalia. That could be fun. Yeah, that could definitely be fun. Not fake news. Gotcha. Nazi fake news. Guys are killing me. Yeah, Bras being up in here would be awesome. I'd be glad to interview some bears. Get them going. Yeah, we need to see some more not fake news stuff. Nazi fake news. That is so funny. By the way, I'll mention it again. For those of you that haven't seen Leftist Fitness Instructor Part 3, Natalia Farts Fantasy. That's funny, honky. If you haven't seen Leftist Fitness Instructor Part 3, Big Bear did a quick stream this morning. It's a short one. And shared that in the midst of it. So definitely check that out because that was hilarious. Also, if you haven't seen the Comedians in Attics Getting Porridge, go ahead and check that out because that's flipping hilarious. That was killing me. And that was on Crowder's channel just recently. And they were talking in the bit they have on his channel where they're talking about Norm Macdonald. That's where they decided to share the Comedians in Attics Getting Porridge. That's just perfect. It was so great. So simple, but so funny. Neophytes fulminating nonsense. That's something entirely possible. Yeah. All right. So you guys are ridiculous. Yeah, Bras could be a comic. I think that's a possibility. She'd be much better than a Nanette. I can't remember, Hannah something. Well, I suspect that they do feel something, but whatever they're feeling is not feeling them. I'm just saying. So, yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, Bras is probably funnier than Bras is probably funnier than a Whitney Cummings, because her face still has cohesion. The flames haven't melted it as of yet, as far as I can tell. Definitely funnier than a oh, why is her name escaping me now? The blonde. Crowder and Jared watched while Jared was wearing his bunny suit jammas. Very, very gross. Very, very disgusting content overall. It's just gone. Oh, yeah. Steve Pinder has a new video. You can definitely go check that out. It's on the educational system. I'm going to be doing that ASAP as soon as we're done today. Definitely have to check that out. Schumer, thank you. Thank you, guys. See, that's what bears are for. Amy Schumer. Couldn't put it together. Yeah, if Bras can beat them in hilarity, she'll just be attacked for being a strong woman, which supposedly is what the left wants. She'll be attacked for that in about 10 seconds flat. So onward, comedy soldier, do your thing, Brazilian Bear, rock on. Let's see here. Normatively feckless Natalia. Man, you guys are coming up with all kinds of stuff today. Clampin. Yes, I agree. She does disgrace the name of Amy. Yes, people named Amy are embarrassed. I have no doubt. That's funny. That's very funny. In future, here's a thought. So we've got the chunk shirt that's going on right now, and for those of you who aren't aware, we're currently having a shirt. Sometimes you're naked. Sometimes you need to put clothes on. Sometimes you need to wear a shirt, and you need to stand against communism at all times. You need to show your love for animals. Because you don't want to be a jerk. You want to be like a Russian or a Chinese person who might eat their dog. You're an American, and you want to show your love for your country and your love for dogs. Especially Chunk the dog. He's a therapy dog. He cares for people. And if you don't care for him, then you're probably a commie. So prove that you're not. Good. Love the Chunk or your commie shirt today. Promo code Big Bear. The drums. Big Drum Bear. Thank you. That's the promo code. Sometimes when you're a Jew and you talk really fast, then you might say the thing wrong. So go ahead, get that today for yourself. And when you do, you can also drop a message with bigdrumbear@gmail.com and let us know what other kinds of shirts and or hats, perhaps beverage vessels, non-asbestos lined, not girthy, things that you can actually travel with, perhaps. They'd be good for you. Definitely a good idea. And no, I don't have autism, but some people think I might. So, at any rate, be sure to pick that up. Did Chunk have his own motorcycle diaries? You know what? That could be an idea. Chunk Guevara could be doing his own motorcycle diaries. That's a great thought. Oh man, I'm writing that down right now. Chunk. I can't spell. Chunk. It's just a cave, dude. Guevara. Motorcycle diaries. Yes, that's genuinely awesome. Why did I put in Shapiro? Well, I was doing my ad again. I've only talked about this shirt like 4 times already on the show, so I figured I needed to go Shapiro with it. I was mostly making fun of myself by doing the Shapiro voice at that point. Maybe I should analyze myself a little bit to figure out why I do that. Hey, everybody, give me one moment. I think I hear my wife getting ready to leave again, so let me tell her that she's beautiful and I love her. All right, I'm back. Just telling my wife I love her, and that's important. She's not going anywhere yet, but she did have dogs to walk and stuff like that, so it's important. Family first. That's the deal. Yeah, I'd end a stream immediately if my beautiful lady deeply needed me, because you guys are great, but she's greater. Just saying, I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with her, conceivably, or her life, but probably my life. Let's be honest. Yeah, so unprofessional to just go leave and talk to a wife. What's up with that? I think Crowder would do it. He'd probably have Not Gay Jared go to commercial while he does it, though. Let's see here. Goggles and leather helmet. That's great. Yes. I love all this. No. I'm just getting some great information here. Some thoughts. Let's see. I missed a joke. Why did they put in Shapiro? Chunky. What? I missed Andrew J. I missed your joke about the 77 cents on the dollar. You said something about Shapiro, and I didn't see what you'd said. So feel free to tell me again. You can tell who for who. I missed it. That's okay. Yes, honky, I see that. Chunk eats poop. Still better than communism. That's awesome. That's appropriate. Oh, man. I was talking with my good brother, Scott, the other night. And, I often get passionate about certain stuff relating to why I'm not a fan of failed political ideologies, failed worldviews. And more so since I think I've begun to hang out with bears. But I think really I started getting a little more vehement about it, even since discovering Crowder, because Crowder was sort of the window into this whole world for me. Discovered Peterson, I discovered Benjamin, I discovered Stefan Molyneux, I discovered a whole bunch of interesting, unique characters. Thanks, Dave Rubin. Can't forget Dave Rubin, because when I found out about Dave, I learned how I could agree with everyone. That was probably one of the most pivotal moments for me. And I think that if we talked about it for a while, you would probably agree too. I think he puts his tongue forward in his mouth. That's how he gets the tone he has. It's always fascinating to me how people talk the way they talk. Excuse me. It has a lot to do with dialects and accents and things like that. How do they happen? And I'm not a linguist by any means, but I know a number of them, and they talk about a little bit that type of thing a little bit. The physiological aspects of how accents develop for different people. Yeah, my chat's not syncing up. My chat's back way up high. There we go. Crowder is the gateway drug. You're right. That's funny. Let's see. Your next court appearance. Inspector. Oh, man. Freedom Tunes. Yeah, man, it'd be great to meet that guy and see if he ever needed like a guest voice or something. To a guest voice actor, and I do Dave. I'd be glad to, but he does a pretty good Dave. I mean, you can't beat that guy's Dave. You know what? That's a great idea. I should look up some of the Freedom tunes because I know some of them are pretty acceptable, and then share that with my kiddos because they're getting into it. My older boys will watch Peterson lectures with me. They're all down with this. They're interested because he's an interesting person to listen to, and it's high stuff. But I think they're beginning to get some of the concepts and principles, and it's like, get your act together. You want to do that right now? Well, I'm starting to make him sound Irish, but occasionally he does, and it's always important. I think it's always important to remember that, let's see, can I remember it? I think I can. Oh, after I knock my stuff around. It's important to remember that even the Muppets, don't like failed ideologies. I think Kermit and Cookie can lay this out for us quite well. Can't you guys? Can you tell us? Oh, maybe not. No, because that's a ringtone. Never mind. That won't play back. Will it?
What is in the box?
Is it Cookie?
No, it is postmodernism.
Bye-bye.
That's my new ringtone for my phone. I love it. It keeps me cracked up continually. And I had to find an excuse to bring it in here. He does sound a bit Irish. There is a bit of that.
Yes, I need to get my JPB sounding more Kermit, but from Canada. I mean, there's no excuse for not having Kermit in your JBP. It's just unacceptable. I mean, if you don't put enough Kermit into your JBP impression, you're probably not going to sleep for 25 days, and you're going to eat nothing but meat and gristle. Grill up the fat, nice and crispy. It's kind of good that way. But you're probably going to go on a podcast and you're going to discuss why that's important. Yeah. I mean it's really an important thing. You're gonna want to go on there and you're gonna want to tell them that the way you don't sleep for 25 days is that you lay awake at night in bed in a something approximating sheer terror, and that's how you sort yourself out and you get your room clean. And then I'm losing a little bit of the Kermit. That's better, eh? Yeah. Right.
Well, maybe more impressions, more of that, because I always enjoy doing that. Ways to incorporate them daily. Could do a segment where I talk about impressions that I've had, like different things that have points or whatever it be that have impressed themselves on me, and points that have impressed themselves on me. I'm sorry, Honky Bears, like Kermit plus Liam Neeson. That's awesome. Yes, you're right too. Certain things that impress themselves on me, it'd be great to talk about doing impressions of other people that have made impressions on me. So it's impressions, sharing impressions while doing impressions from people that have made impressions on me. That would be fun. That'd be interesting.
So let's see if I can get a bit out of what Liam Neeson, Kermit, JBP might say. I don't know who you are, but I have a very particular set of skills, Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. And if you're a postmodernist, but you give it up for individual freedom, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't read the Gulag Archipelago, I will hunt you. I will find you. And I will kill you. Eh?
I had to think about that for a minute. Oh, see, a little too much heat in the mic, so now it's crackling a little bit. Could be my cable. Could be that. Yeah, see, that cable's a little loose. I might have to invest in a better XLR cable because I think this one's like 10 years old. But
yeah, he chose poorly, eh? I mean, you know, it's in the archetypes. You know, you see it in every culture there's been. You get to a point where you can choose not to be an ugly, disgusting, horrific, narcissistic, just horrific person, you know, and bring that horror into society. You have a choice, eh? But he didn't make it, and so he got what was coming to him. And you might think that's pretty bad, but it's not. It's appropriate because now the rest of us don't have to deal with his ignorance. I was trying to do the Taken speech there. I could have done better. JVP Taken would be awesome. Yes, that's got to have to happen. I've got to think about what would make it funnier. I've got to write that now. That's going to happen. You know, I've never thought of myself as a comedian. I always thought I wasn't very funny. I didn't have a natural knack for that, but I've noticed watching more comedians, paying more attention to them. I think I have a respectable sense of it, but I'd have to practice it to get good. Like I'm no Eric Nimmer, you know. I've probably only stolen like maybe 1 or 2 bikes ever. I'm not a professional in that way, but I suppose if I practiced harder, I could get to a point where I'm probably stealing, you know, about maybe 10 a week. And that'd put me about a quarter of the way to where he's at. You know, I'm not there. I don't have a chop shop operation going on, you know, for bicycles, in the local central Illinois area. But, you know, he probably has his spreading throughout all 50 states. Well, I don't know. He might have. He says he doesn't steal bikes, but it's just, I don't know about Jocko Willenick. I don't know enough about him to do his voice yet. I'll have to look him up and watch him and see if I could try. I wish he was still here. That's great. That's awesome, Honky. Oh, man. You can do the welding. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome, man. That is so flippin' good. Can't reach the pedals. Little shrimp. That's funny. I don't even know the guy. I've only talked to him a few times over Hangouts, and he's come in my streams today and other times, but I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. That's always a cool thing. So yeah. Bless you. That was my beautiful lady. She wanted to cameo in the show for a minute and make her appearance with a sneeze. You are blessed, beautiful lady bear. Thank you. Yes, you are quite welcome. Willenick is an alpha JBP. Okay. He's not the extreme ownership guy, is he? Andrew J says, God bless you. Thank you. She appreciates that, Andrew. Quintessential sneeze, yes. That's very important. Yeah, that'd be another thing that's going to change one day. There's going to be... So for years, I've had this thought that it would be great to have a studio in the backyard. It would be great to have like a whole separate building, like a shed, but that's been fitted appropriately inside to be a music studio and then some. That's a future for us. I've even given thought to, you know, how could I have more people? Excuse me, just scratching my head here. How could I get more people to come over here and come to my studio? I'd need a parking area. We have a single lane driveway. It's not very big. What could I do to increase that? Well, I could probably do a couple things. One, I could get rid of the garage that we currently have and expand that out to be more of a bigger parking area for us. And then just build a better garage. But two, I could see about the people that live behind us. I would always be interested, if I'm ever in a position to do this, and I would like to work toward it, to purchase from them a little strip of land that runs behind the few houses that line our street, you know, and then have a separate drive that comes up to the back side of our yard,
you know, and that'd be really cool to have a separate entrance to get to the studio, right? Not to have to use our own driveway and all that kind of stuff. Am I echoing? Oh, okay. Do you hear me echoing, Inspector? Is that what you're meaning, or are you talking about something else? What is that up there, dear? Do you hear that? Is that a dog squeaking, or is that a laundry machine? Oh, I hear this like quick, 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 and I thought one of the dogs was like bouncing on a bed or something like that, but they don't usually do that, and it's way too consistent. What's that? Oh, my wife took it somewhere where I wasn't thinking, but well, let's say I was endeavoring not to. I am a guy. Yes, we do have a boy and girl dogs up there, but our boy is no longer interested in that. He's had his yes, a bit. No Echo Charles from Jocko Podcast. I'll have to find out about this. These are things that I don't know about yet, so I need to learn. You guys are giving me an education here today. All right, so we're at an hour 12. We've had a fun time. We've gotten a lot of good ideas. I filled up. Look at this. I filled up a whole page of stuff. All kinds of things. Yes, I write like a 5-year-old, by the way, just so you all know. It's gotten a little better, but still, I have less than professional looking writing. That's awesome, by the way. Thank you. So I'm going to take a lot of these things into consideration, and you're going to watch. It's all documented. It's right here. You can look back at it. This show is going to consistently get better and better, more enjoyable for you guys. I want this to be a place where people can come to and have a great time. And I'd love to be able to do this as my full-time focus, you know, hire a team. Like I said, I need to start with a not gay sound guy, Hopper Jr., with a cybernetic implant that happens to be a quarter black. And if I had that, you know, I'd not only have a good person to take care of things for me here on the production side, but I'd also I'd have a steady supply of wine with somewhat effeminate names on a regular basis, and that's good, you know, plus a good faithful companion, you know, that likes to lay by my side all the time. So those things are good, you know. Plus he would be officially not gay, and I'd legally have to say that he is so every day. That'd be important. That'd be a requirement. But if I could get to that point, I think that'd be the next step. Well, you'd willingly give up a lot of money because as of right now, I don't have money to pay you. Had I money to pay you, it would be little, and I would work endlessly to ensure you could get more. It'd be the same kind of Crowder mindset. Well, if you legally require me to say that you're not gay, then I would say so on air, Zach. I would do that. Yeah, I agree with you, Inspector. I need a cicerone. I don't need a sommelier. I need a cicerone. That's what's got to happen, because if I did have a show, I would want to. There needs to be simplified beer. That needs to be the next website, right? Somebody, maybe it'll be me. Maybe that's where I'll go. Simplifiedbeer.com. Who knows? Maybe it's already out there. For those of you who've never heard of that, that's a little gee whiz thing I thought I'd share. Sommelier, right? That's a wine aficionado, someone who is so talented at knowing the ins and outs of wines. I suspect many of them probably could drink a certain wine and not only tell you like what grapes, what flavor, what region it was grown in, but in many cases probably what winery it came from, like what specific winery. Without looking at the bottle, they'd probably be able to tell you just from the taste. Big Bear beer. That's good. Well, we've already got, there is somebody who made a brew for Owen. And I forget what that, is that Big Bear beer? Is that the name of it? I want to try it. I definitely love to try it. Same beer every day. That's funny. Ever see a Bear Whiz beer? Quite possibly. No, let's see here. In the beer side of things, they have beer aficionados now, and there's a whole thing called Cicerone certification. There's 3 levels of it. 3 levels of Cicerone certification. You can be a certified beer server, right? And that requires like a test where you have to have video questions in conjunction with written stuff. And in the video questions, you have to watch a server present beer and pair it properly with different foods, according to how those things are meant to be paired up. And you have to critique where they did things wrong or where they got certain stuff right. You have to be able to identify that just from watching videos of the presentation of the preparation of the meal and the beer, how it's poured, all of that kind of thing. Then there is a like actual pouring, like the angle at which you hold the glass and how long you let it take to fill into the glass. All of that is important in terms of the taste of a beer. Like there's tons of biochemistry that goes into making it work right. It's fascinating. Maybe that's something I'll talk about more about in the future. A great book, by the way, if you want to learn more about it, called Tasting Beer by Randy Mosier. Pick that one up if you're interested. It's super, super cool. I think chapter 3 talks a lot about the pairing of types of foods with beer and what goes well together, what types of beer, what types of food. At any rate, then there's the Certified Cicerone, and that's like a 4-hour exam. It also has video questions and short answer type stuff. It gets much more in depth. I think there's taste testing involved, being able to recognize certain types of beers and other things like that, how to properly taste it. And then there's a Master Cicerone, right? And that's the highest level you can get to. I mean, it takes a lot to be able to get there. Usually you have to have some sort of a degree in biochemistry in order to do that, I think. And beer companies will sometimes hire guys like this, Master Cicerones, I think, nowadays, because they want to have like quality assurance of their product. But that's, I think, what these guys do largely. They just go into making sure that the beer is of the best quality before it goes out. Different breweries will get these guys, or just want to really take their stuff up a notch. So, yeah, definitely something to look into, the Cicerone program. And I think there's stuff there's websites for Cicerone. You can go and get certified in it. So yeah, if you're a certified Cicerone, or even a Master Cicerone, it'd be amazing to get you to work for the Big Drum Bear one of these days and have a beer aficionado on hand, ready to go. You'd be my Beer Morgan Jr. That's terrible. At any rate, I'm gonna come in for a landing here, and I want to tell you guys to engage your mind, your body, and your heart. Seek to serve the ultimate purpose. Keep Charity and Harold in prayers. Charity, hope that she doesn't have to have a exam, or no, not exam. What I'm trying to say, operation, to have her appendix removed or anything like that. Hope it's nothing serious, and that she gets out of pain rather quickly. Yeah, look for her online, and if you're interested in some sort of furniture, maybe she's into woodworking, it sounds like, as a hobby. Maybe you can hook her up by getting something from her. Make her life better. Buy some woodworking from her. If you need some violin playing on an album, talk to her. I don't know how good she is, but you could find out. Never know. Maybe she's got some talents that you could make use of. And don't forget, one last time, get ready, because in a month, Pinder's Ugly Mug will be available again. Look for it from teespring.com. It will be there. But more importantly, much more importantly, especially since I minused it, I have to put it back up in order to switch to it. Don't forget to love your chunk or be a commie. One of those two is going to happen. Don't let it be the commie one, because that's just generally not the thing you want it to be. And yeah, go ahead and pick that up. Support your Big Drum Bear. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace, Bears.
Yes, I think not buying a chunk shirt is mildly inappropriate for a Big Drum Beer live stream.